don't know the power of sci-fi radio.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We would be honored if you would join us.
You're pretty close, actually.
Try to beat it just ahead, but you know.
Right. Can you hear the theme?
Yeah.
Through the headphones? Oh, okay. Because you're pretty close. Hey, everybody. It's another Thursday night. That means Docking Bay 94. I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is Jeff Donoho.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And welcome aboard. Glad to have all you guys here. We had a week away, and but we're back now. And,
Yay.
Talon Thorne is ready and waiting.
Cool. Oh, you know, I should probably open the chat and all.
Hey, Lori.
So I could see who's
Lori.
checking in. Yeah, it's you could be listening to us over on sci-fi.radio, sci-fi for your Wi-Fi. That's where we've been before we did video, but now that we have video, for better or for worse, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, all of those places, look up DB94. You can find us and see our occasionally smiling but mostly grumpy faces.
Oh, I think I got it. There we go.
The lady 1066. Hello.
Hello.
Yay.
Oh, Alan popped in. over
Hey,
on
Alan.
Facebook. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So, it's been a long time since, 2 weeks seems like a long time.
It is a long
Yeah.
time. I mean, we had a lot of stuff go on.
Talon Thorne reports that sci-fi.radio hasn't started up yet.
You know, we had this problem last time, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let me head this off the pass like right now. I'm going to stop it, what I've got going on. And
Stop it!
I'm going to start it again and see if that fixes it, because that seemed to be the problem.
Whew.
Although they've done all sorts of weirdness. And over at Sci-Fi, Gene's been working pretty hard.
There we go.
That's
Oh,
not
okay.
us. Tell you that much. Tell you that
Hi,
much
Vicky.
for nothing.
Yeah. Hi, Vicky, and hi, Pat and Kelly. Yep. And that's my
But yeah, we'll see. If I'll keep messing with the radio side of things and see if we can get that going on. But
Cosplay and fandom.
in the meantime,
Our
we
ears
have
are here to listen.
commercials going on, which is a little
Well,
weird.
okay then.
Yeah, very strange. It says I'm connected, which is weird, and I don't know. I'll try and get the other sci-fi.radio stuff going.
All right. So, I think the first thing that you guys did after our last show was the El Centro Air Show. Do you guys want to talk about that?
Sure. I mean, it was very fun. It was a long drive, which
Oh, yeah.
Jeff got to make with me in caravan. Usually when we went, it was like me. I would drive, and we would put the car on display. Jeff put his car on display, which was a pretty new experience for you, Jeff.
Yeah, for that one, yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to get out there on pretty much out on the airfield, my car. And I think the most popular thing about my car were the stickers, but
Well, that was really funny. So like the kids looked at both cars and they thought they were really great, and then the adults would like come look at my car and like look at the weird stuff attached to it, and then they go to Jeff's car and like look at all the stickers he had attached to it, which was really funny. And so there'd be some guy standing there like taking pictures of every single sticker that Jeff had on the car, which really kind of made me laugh.
I know.
But yeah, it was fun. Small crowd of Rebels, Mandos, and 501st, but completely in proportion to the smaller attendance crowd this year.
Yeah.
This event has been like jam packed in the past. There were fewer planes that came in. I think on the whole, the Naval Air Station El Centro is like spending less money on the event, and so the Blue Angels were there, but they're always there, and that's where they start their season is from this event. And we had a lot fewer people fly in to show off their planes, and there were other planes on the field that were blocked off that we like couldn't get to, which was kind of interesting because they were military planes, and you'd think they'd just put those guys on display too.
Oh yeah.
But all told, it was pretty fun. We didn't die in the heat this year. That was nice.
No, yeah, that was good. It was like there were points in the daytime it was really hot, but if you were able to stay in the shade as much as possible, you were fine. But yeah, it was definitely like less vendors and less like a lot of lower numbers. But I don't know if that's still a COVID thing or if that's just been happening, no matter COVID or not.
Yeah, I don't know either. And now one of the things that happened this year that didn't was they cut so much back that they didn't have the food festival they usually have.
Yeah,
which is a big part of it. And actually, that's where you get to kind of like hang out with the Blue Angels and stuff.
Yeah,
the pilots come hang out with you. And so that didn't happen. And I think a lot of people were disappointed with that. And then there was a breakfast that they usually play.
the firemen for the base.
Yeah, and that's usually a lot of fun. And no pancake breakfast.
The pancake, yeah. That was a bummer.
Oh, pancakes.
Nope.
That's a tragedy.
Well, and the the fire department there is usually really cool.
Now I want pancakes.
Pancakes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
we're still not on the air on Sci-Fi.
Figures. But it was neat. My favorite planes, as usual, are the prop engine planes they had there. So that was cool. The jets were pretty neat, but they're loud and they can do all these nifty maneuvers and such. But it impresses me when the prop engine planes do these really tight knit turns and everything that the jets can do with no problem. So.
Yeah, and actually, we spent some time doing like taking really great pictures. None of which I posted. I didn't copy any over yet, but we got some really great pictures of various planes as they flew around us. And some of the duties we had in the past I kind of missed, where we used to walk the flight line, which was cool. We would do that in costume, and we would escort planes from the flight line or helicopters, which were neat. And not so much this time. And we had, we didn't have to go to the VIP section and rub elbows with VIP guys. And I'm kind of cool with that. That was okay to not have to do that. So.
This is true.
Yeah. But all told, it was fun. Big thanks to Jamie, who really helped us out down there. Because you can only do so much for an event, and it's a lot of gas. It's a lot of driving there and back. It's 8 hours worth of driving to do, not on the same day.
It's quite crazy.
And he gave us a place to crash, and that made all the difference. That was the thing.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Made it so we could go. So yes, that was good, and we had a good time hanging out with people. We had 501st guys come up from Mexico. It came in from Arizona. Vegas, I think we had some, and that was kind of neat too. Lots of big mix, and of course the San Diego guys just shot over. Yeah, that was pretty great.
Great. And what about Sean? Do you want to talk about the Reagan Library?
Yeah, I can do that. The Here, let me show you guys a couple of pictures really quick that Jeff sent over.
Yeah. Hopefully they're
the one classic car picture we took which I think
Oh, yeah.
was absolutely hysterical. Was with this guy. They asked us if we would take a picture with him, like his wife or his daughter or somebody said, hey, would you take a picture with him? And it's like, sure. He owns the car in the background. Anybody recognize it?
The Pacer or the
It's
Christine car?
No, the AMC Pacer.
Yeah.
It's like a perfect condition Pacer that
Yeah.
he's fixed up, and it was really super funny.
It's like the Mommobile or something like that.
Yeah, the Mirthmobile, which was Wayne's World, except they had flames on theirs. Theirs was blue with flames, I think.
Yeah.
We had a couple of sort of historical costumes going on. I don't know what group these people were with.
The girl on the right, I'm not sure about the left, but the girl on the right is someone that works on the bases, like, enlisted or whatever.
They came into the bar at the end of the evening with only half the costume on, which was pretty funny. They like got too hot,
like that, got
too
people
tired, and I think the skirt survived and the blouse changed, and it was pretty funny. And then this was sort of us getting set up. What am I doing?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm putting my hat on or something. But so we had our cars spaced out, and this actually caused us a problem later because there was this backdrop in between the two of us, which we planned. And then on the other side of the backdrop, there was a flight simulator thing that, like, people kept crashing and sitting and camping in between our cars. I'm like, please don't do that.
Yeah.
That's just rude.
Yeah.
But all told, it was pretty funny. Like, just watching people react to the cars and go, why are the cars? We don't understand. But that was cool. Hey, and Talon Thorne says we're on the radio stream now. So I think what the trick was for the radio stream is that I had to restart Mix. Mix is our terrible program that we broadcast with. I restarted.
Yeah.
I think that's what did it. All right.
We've had Mela join us and Eric Gertz.
Yay!
Woo. I'll try to remember that reboot thing for next time. We were talking about the Reagan Library, and if you don't know what that is Ronald Reagan's Presidential Library. And as you would expect from a president that was super gung-ho and was president during the 1980s, it's very sort of bang-bang-centric. There's lots of military stuff there, which is pretty funny. And of course, Ronald Reagan was known for being like, the cowboy president kind of a deal. And it's completely... it's that. So when you get there and you park, like, the first thing you see is a giant tank. and once
I don't remember that being there the last time I went.
How long ago when was the last time you went?
Well, it was when we had the Titanic tea. So it's been a long
this
time.
was like way in the back, in the very back parking lot.
Back. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't.
And then they had a couple of jets there. There's like a stealth fighter in the corner. There's this was it a F-16, I think.
I have no idea.
They have an entire pavilion dedicated to an Air Force One that was donated. This had flown like a whole bunch of different presidents and whatnot. And so we got there early. Kit was our POC, I think, for this. And we got there early so that we could get a tour of Air Force One and kind of goof off and check stuff out. I'd been there before, but it's always really fun to do. And since they were going to, be cool about it, there's a whole bunch of displays on motorcades. And so they have all this old stuff. And so this is like the Adam 12 era police car, which is LAPD police car and stuff like that. And it's just kind of neat to see. But the way that the airplane is precariously perched on these cement pylons, one of them is cracking, and it makes me a little nervous. I'm like, that's a really heavy plane. But of course, they're trying to give you the sense that it's going to, fly out the giant glass window that's there, and it's huge. It is absolutely. It's like if you've seen a giant IMAX screen, it's like bigger than that. It's really, really, really huge. And part of the interesting thing about where this library is located, which is in Simi Valley, Santa Susana, kind of Thousand Oaks, it's like where all of these areas meet. It's Simi Valley is means Valley of the Winds, and this showed that off to absolutely best advantage because there was so much wind there that not only just going from our car to the museum was crazy, but you could hear it. They couldn't seal up the museum against the wind. And so where we were standing, down below the aircraft, you could hear the wind coming through the doors, and it sounded like a jet engine trying to start up, which was kind of nuts. They just could not keep the wind out. It was that powerful. It was nuts. And so, so they let us tour the whole plane, which was really neat. I would like my car to look like this. On the inside, I think that would be epic. I don't know how to make that happen. Jeff shaking his head.
There's a back in it had to be the 80s when my brother bought a Vega, which is Chevy Vega, and he was basically the idea is that you get a Chevy when you get a Chevy Vega, you're getting it for one thing, and that's to take the motor out and put in a bigger motor.
Put something better, yeah.
And gigantic fan, and it basically it zips really, But when he got it, inside it had from on the roof, there was a big panel with toggle switches and everything and whatever. And there's a little thing in the center console with toggles across the dashboard. So it was all made up to be science fiction looking inside.
Wow. Could he travel through time?
Probably already did, yeah.
This is the satellite communications center of the plane, which is really just ancient level technology for various communications, which also had these really old laptops. I absolutely love these big, clunky, insane laptops with a tiny screen. They're state of the art. Woo! And then, a lot of this stuff really did look like Back to the Future, kind of what's our destination? What's our time in various zones? And
1955.
And so, the whole, where the press hung out, where they would have meetings and stuff. Cool. And, really ancient technology. I love that there's a handset phone right there on the table.
Yeah, so weird.
Yeah, it was really fun.
They
had their own china. There was a cake that they kept on board so that when it was somebody's birthday, Reagan could sing happy birthday and give him cake. It was really funny.
Nice.
So this exhibit that they had, and I'll flip through all of these pictures here. This was the giant mural that they had surrounding the plane.
Oh, cool.
Of every Air Force One ever. Which was really cool. And then there was Marine One. You can check out the helicopter.
That's cool.
Also would like my car to look like that. This is Ronald Reagan as rendered in jelly beans. It's really great.
Yeah. This is his favorite thing.
And they had a nice statue to Sally Ride, which was really cool. And
that's cool.
They really thought a lot about the layout of this museum. Had some pretty cool stuff to see. And they let us into the Oval Office. They had an Oval Office display, and they let us all in there in costume. We put the Emperor behind the desk. And had him back with stormtroopers and stuff. But there was also a press room, which was really cool. So you could go stand at the press podium and make impassioned speeches. So somebody took way too many pictures of me standing there.
That's cool.
They had a little Guinness bar thing, so we had to nab our Obi-Wan for the night next to the Guinness sign. It just seemed necessary. And then after the reception, they had all of this food, which is like, you know, Luke's lunchbox, which was like cheeses and meats and things.
Did they give you one of those?
Yeah, they let us eat from here, and we could choose whatever we wanted, which was great.
I would think that you'd have to eat from Luke's
Being
lunchbox.
dressed as Luke, that was good. They had these sort of Ronto wrap things that they did, which was cool. This was the spicy tomato chutney one, and this was the actual Ronto wrap one, which was
cool.
Had peppercorn sauce. It was actually pretty good, and not that far off from Disney. I don't know if they just took the regular recipe that's in the cookbook, the Batu cookbook, or if they made up their own thing. But it was actually pretty good.
No, the recipe in the Batu cookbook is not bad.
It's not that? Okay. No. And then,
but there are recipes online for it that get it right.
We were all fighting over these parfaits that had lightsabers on top of them.
How fun!
Which was very fun. And then there was the exhibit, and the exhibit had everything from real Star Wars stuff to things from people's private collections and whatnot. And so one of the interesting things is Lucas is not involved in this. Disney is not involved in this. So anything that's real that's on display is from a private collection. You'll remember that I went to the reception for Prop Store on the last show, and I was talking about that. We met up with our friend Megan, who was there, who works for Prop Store, and she was there this night also, setting up some things that they had borrowed for the exhibit from Prop Store that were actual Star Wars props. And so here they have like the Dijkstraflex camera system and things like that that they were using to shoot the models and whatnot, which were really cool. And there were like little alcoves that some of these things were set into. They had lots of set designs, storyboards. I don't know why that's crooked. And there was a real Vader helmet there from The Empire Strikes Back that they had borrowed from somebody, but like replica Graflex. And that's Dave Prowse's script, I guess.
Okay.
I guess it's for episode 4. And then they did actually show the lightsabers as they originally were. So there was like a camera display with the Graflex and the Highland and different things that eventually became the lightsaber handles, which were kind of cool. Some guy, I was talking to the person who did all the captions for the exhibit, and she said they just found a guy who had all of it. And he's like, I have lightsabers and I have the real stuff. What do you want? And she's like, all of it. We would like all of it, please.
That's super cool.
Lots of replica stuff. Some of the stuff in this case is from Disneyland. Some of the stuff is from Master Replicas. Some of it is fan-made creations, which were pretty funny. They had, this was a crew gift that you got for working on Star Wars, which was like a paperweight. It said, "May the Force be with you."
Okay.
And you know, every once in a while you'd see something original like this mask, which was like, oh, weird. Someone just kind of it's a Duros, I guess, is the alien from the Cantina, who eventually sort of became the Nemoidians in the prequels.
Yeah. I mean, this was also Cad Bane.
Right. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Title designs, the generic helmet that got passed around from person to person when they took off, and then when they were in the fight, everybody had unique helmets. But when everyone was taking off, they all just had this generic one with blue markings on it. They went, that's boring. We should change that, and they changed it mid-film.
No one will pick it up. It'll be fine.
Yeah. And so, you know, every once in a while we'd see stuff, some correspondence from Mark Hamill writing to fans and signed autographs. And this thing blew my mind. I cannot figure out what it is. So there was a document there that talked about having a second land speeder. And the person who provided this said it came from Elstree Studios. But it is so wildly inaccurate and it is so fragile that nobody really knows. So it doesn't have the big dent in the front. It doesn't have a curved windshield. It doesn't have the right open engine details. The engines in the back are wrong. It doesn't have the little radar scanner in the front. The greeblies inside the little open cockpit thing are wrong. There's no steering wheel. It's like, what is this thing? Nobody knows, though. Nobody knew what it was. And I'm like, is this the thing that was on the arm that they swung in a circle? Did a fan make it? Where did this thing come from?
Yeah.
Because it's just wildly wrong. But they're like, it's original. And I'm like, I have my doubts for it being original. But it was like mesmerizing. And their R2 and 3PO also were really dodgy and weird.
It's odd. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, they would find stuff that were like, oh, this is like a thing that they used in the movie, but they didn't use in the movie. But there was one section that really just warmed my heart. This is RT Deco.
Yeah.
He is from Hardware Wars. They had an entire section dedicated to Hardware Wars where they were showing part of it in a loop on the screen. This is the real RT Deco, which is super cool. And he's, of course, just a little vacuum cleaner that they repurpose. And he's little. He's really small. He's like smaller than Tom Servo small.
Yeah.
But they gave all these things the proper due. Everybody had a card and whatever. And I guess Ernie Facilios provided some of this stuff. And, some of his original work behind it, the original posters. And Chewchilla the Wookiee Monster was there, which was super cool.
That's funny.
I just love that they took the time to go find that and give it a spot of its own. It's like really great. So it's got its own alcove and, it explains what it is. And they went and they did a lot of pop culture stuff here before they got to the actual Strategic Defense Initiative, which was Reagan's version of Star Wars. And I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a lawsuit that happened because Lucas said, hey, you guys cannot call this defense initiative Star Wars. Take that word out of your mouth because I don't want real violence intruding on my fake violence. And the judge said, nope, sorry, too bad. You have created something that is in the popular culture. You're going to have to suck it up and deal with it. And some of the things that I didn't really know about this whole defense initiative, like, we were always joking about lasers from space. And
it's really what it is?
It's really what it is.
Wow.
And so, like, Real Genius was real, which is crazy. And so they had this EKV program, the Exo-Atmospheric Kill Vehicle. That's what EKV stands for. And it's like, yeah, you want to kill someone from space? We got your back, but not theirs. And so they had a bunch of models for that. And then they would have, look, it's Bloom County making fun of it. And giant pictures of Bloom County. They had various delivery vehicles. And a lot of this stuff, even though this got canceled like a decade after it was announced and being worked on, a lot of this stuff is in use now on the ground as incoming missile defense systems. And so when you hear about, the war in Gaza, or you hear about the war in Ukraine, and like Ukraine takes out all the Russian missiles before they hit anything, that technology that they're using came out of this. So it didn't completely go to waste, and they managed to make it into something that works now. But all of this like weird space technology, this is the real kill vehicle, like full scale, which is crazy. Oh, I guess it's a full scale model. So, but there's one that's like how big it is, and then they're like, oh, and it's Han Solo, and it's Reagan as Vader, and all of that kind of stuff, which is pretty funny. And then just fighting and fighting. So, and a lot of it, they saved a lot of technology, these ancient computers, the sort of missiles that they were going to use, and all of that is kind of crazy. And it was weird to see. And then, from the Star Wars fan point of view, there's lots of stuff to take pictures of because that's what people like. There's a TIE fighter in there and stuff like that. And one of the things that I liked, and I love this guy for it, they had Leia's ceremonial dress there, which was neat. And that came from Prop Store. One of the things that I liked, and there's the Real Genius laser targeting system that they were making in the movie, but it's the real one from Hughes.
Wow.
This was great because this was the facilities guy. They didn't hire a set guy. They didn't do anything crazy. They went to the guy who runs the facilities for the museum and said, "Hey, could you do something Star Wars?" He's like, "I used to be a carpenter, sure." And so he made the entryway to the Millennium Falcon. That's what you walk into to get to the exhibit. But he didn't stop there. He kept building to the left and to the right. They're like, okay, enough, no more. You got to stop. And eventually they I don't know what they did. They tied him down or something. He eventually stopped. But anyway, this was it, Defending America in the Galaxy. And
weird.
It was pretty great. And I think that if you have a chance to see it, if you live in Southern California, it's worth your time. Don't expect anything big, but it is the same. It is part of your admission. It's not a bonus fee to see it. And I will say that from everyone I talked to, it's better and more interesting than the thing that we had in Santa Monica that was touring around, which was just a bunch of pre-purchased, statues and props and things for you to take pictures with. It was all off-the-shelf stuff. This people liked a lot better. So, and it was pretty neat. And the museum itself is actually really fascinating because, they've got a whole dedication to the Berlin Wall. They've got recreations of the Oval Office and that kind of stuff. And it, it's fun. And of course, because I'm a dork, I had to run around and take pictures like that of the car with the plane and the whatever, because, it's always fun. But yeah, I think it's worth your time if you live in Southern California area. It's not too hard to get to. Oh my gosh, the views are amazing. Just to get up there and to check everything out. It's absolutely beautiful up there. It is a little windy. And as Colleen mentioned before, we had a really nice visit up there as part of one of the teas that she organized.
Yeah, it was a Titanic era tea.
Yeah.
And there was a Titanic exhibit at the museum at the time.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool. So they do neat stuff all the time. They're a little bit remote, but not horribly so.
It's weird that there's a Merv Griffin lawn in the back of the museum.
Yeah, because he donated a boatload of money to them.
It just seems funny.
He's just about the first name on the donors list too.
Yeah.
There's a big wall of donors, and the first name that leaps out at you is Merv Griffin.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's kind of interesting.
That's cool.
So while Jeff tells us about his couple of weeks, Sean, can you go into Twitch and delete the spammer?
Oh yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Sure.
So Jeff,
there we go. I'm
tell
going to adjust this.
Tell us about your 2 weeks.
I don't think there's a large amount of things to tell. I mean, Elsa show we do too, of course. Ahsoka's birthday. You gave me a little Ahsoka or birthday. Had her made. Sparrow made her.
A doggy cake.
Little pup cakes. I think they were called.
Pupcakes.
For cupcakes for pups. So that each of the dogs would have one. And so. And it was cute. Then she got a bunch of toys and such. So it was a cute little birthday thing for Ahsoka.
That's fun.
Yeah. The kids came over in sections. The second thing was I also went to T's birthday, and I'm not sure if T uses anything other than T, other than the letter T.
I'm pretty sure it's just T these days.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was a Hobbit. It was like, Bilbo Baggins' birthday kind of, theming.
Uh-huh.
So like basically everyone that showed up, it was something Lords of the Ring-ish or Red Fair-ish,
Huh.
to it. So that was fun. It was, they were playing Lord of the Rings on TV, and then we had like, food and drinks and whatever,
Sounds
and
good.
that's fun. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I didn't do much of anything. I had jury duty. I was there for about 2 hours before they dismissed us and sent us home. So, while I always want to do my duty, I was also grateful to be cut loose so quickly.
Gotcha.
But while I was there, I wandered around since they let us out so early.
You were
walked
there for
over
like an
to-
hour and 45 minutes. That was like the shortest jury duty I've ever seen.
Yeah, and then because basically what they did was they called us in. We sat for about half an hour, maybe a little bit longer, and then they said we need people to be on a trial that we think is going to last for 30 days. So if you have, based on how much time your company gives you, we eliminated a whole bunch of people, and I was in that group that was eliminated. And then they said, for the people who remain, here are the reasons why you wouldn't be able to serve for 30 days. So if you have any of these reasons, then when we call your name, just say, I don't know whether it was yes or no, but just respond that you can't do it. And anybody who's left, you'll have a chance to talk to the judge. But you're going to come back tomorrow morning. And so they sent those people out in the hall, and then basically anyone else who had been called in at 8:00, I guess they had called people in for different times, was sent home about a half an hour after that.
Okay.
So they really just wanted to seat this one trial, I think. That's why they called us all in.
Yeah.
And then, since I was down there, the courthouses are so close to Grand Central Market. So I figured I'd pop over to Grand Central Market and pick up something for lunch. But the spot that I was hoping to go to was gone, permanently gone.
Oh, boo.
And most of the places weren't. Like there was a donut shop open and egg sandwiches, and not much else was open. There was a bakery open, so I picked up some bread and basically had like, I don't remember, I had the bread and cheese for lunch or something like that.
How very French of you.
And then I ended up I bought 2 of these rolls. I ate 1.5 of them, and then the other half I chopped it up and put it in a paper bag and left it for a week.
Yeah.
And then last night I made potato leek soup for dinner, and I took the chopped up bread that was now stale, put it in the toaster oven with some olive oil and a little bit of seasoning, and it was so good on my potato soup. So
Leaky potato soup.
Nice.
yeah.
Pretty cool.
And then other than that, just puttered around the house, and Sean and I went to IKEA, and
Cool.
we went out shopping looking
ouch.
for some shelving that we needed.
Yeah, IKEA was a quest, as always.
Yeah.
Although, did we mention
the
on the
prices.
show before that IKEA actually dropped their prices, or is dropping?
So
their
that's
prices?
on our list for
Yeah.
this week.
Is it?
IKEA. It sounds funny for us to be saying, "Hey guys, IKEA dropped their prices," but the reason why we wanted to mention it is because the reason they reduced their prices was that they said the prices of raw materials and shipping has gone back down. So therefore, we're cutting prices to reflect those lower prices. So it's not a
Courthouses are
sale.
so good.
It is a moving the prices back down to where it's fair for the customer. And
Okay.
I mean, we need more companies like that, and less
Yeah.
companies that are like, oh, the prices went up, and then they don't mention that the price went back down, and they just keep the profits for their their shareholders.
Yeah.
Don
That's a
says
bummer.
that the time change messed him up, and man,
Yeah.
I was so sleepy for a week for that.
It's brutal.
1 hour change, and it just really messes me up.
We voted to stay on daylight savings time here in California, and we haven't done it yet. And I believe also the federal government voted, like the Senate voted to stay on daylight savings time, and the House won't allow it. It's crazy, and it's been like 4 years, right? Let's go. Let's fix that, because to pick one and stay on it.
Yeah.
I put my vote for daylight savings time because I like to work in the evenings with more sunlight. But we don't need this anymore. I think even a lot of farmers are like, please stop. We don't need to do this anymore. And then our friends, because the time change happened when Jeff and I were at the air show, and our friends in Arizona are like, hey, we don't do that.
That's rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really
I know.
was. It's like you came all this way just to do that to us. That's rude.
Yeah.
That must be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rude. Okay, so I think we're ready to talk Star Wars.
Before we do, bye, Chris Marble. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Okay.
Was that it?
Yeah, that was it.
I
so.
thought there was more.
Nope.
Sorry.
Nope. He's going to the Losfus meeting.
oh,
Just want
boy.
to say
All
hey.
right. Have fun at Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Jeff, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Hit it.
Hi, Laura, and hi, Liz, and I'm not sure who else popped in since that, but yeah, Dawn. Let's see here. Make sure I don't miss anybody. Okay. With the birthday portion first. March 18th, 1931 is when John Mallow was born. And we talked about him numerous times, I think, on the show. He is he is one of the costume designers for New Hope and Empire Strikes Back.
John Mullo very specifically has a military costume design background, and if you look at his credits list, it is filled with lots of military movies. And so tapping him to do Star Wars was actually really great. And if you are a cosplayer or you design your own costumes or whatever, look up the art of John Mullo, because it will be very enlightening and heartening to you, because John couldn't really draw. He could put stuff together and he could kind of sketch out what he wanted in a very cartoony kind of fashion. He's not an artist. He's a costume historian. And a clothing and a uniform historian. So you don't have to be this amazing artist to create these costumes and stuff. You just have to be able to convey what you want to do. And he is a primary example of that. He did all the first 3 Star Wars movies, did a whole bunch of other movies. And the whole Art of Star Wars book is completely filled with his rather questionable sketches. Right next to Ralph McQuarrie's sketches, where you're like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. Or Joe Johnston or people like that. And you're like, man, these people could draw. And then there's John Mullo, and you're like, yeah, but I see what he's saying.
Yeah.
I see what he's getting at.
He gets the point across.
Yeah.
Hi, David. If we missed you earlier, got you this time. We have March 21st, 1931. That's when Al Williamson was born. And a comic book artist who worked on the Star Wars comics, I believe was it starting with Empire Strikes Back? I think it might have been starting with Empire.
I think so. If he wasn't doing the Sunday strip before that. And that's a guy who can draw. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Al
Amazing.
Williamson is like the guy that we all aspired to when we were kids.
Yeah.
And
It's really amazing work.
Just look him up, because whatever he was drawing, if he was drawing something that were real people, and he did like Flash Gordon, and he did Daredevil, he did like all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
If he was doing Mark Hamill or Harrison Ford or Carrie Fisher or like a real living person, he nailed it. He just had that knack. Man, I loved his art. And his portraiture was just incredible. Like you can look at somebody and go, that's Sean Connery. That's,
Yeah.
whoever. He just, Yeah, what a guy.
Yep. It's whenever we look at this guy, I always bring up that his work looks like Mark Scholl's work from like Xenozoic Tales or Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Pretty he must have like been inspired by Williamson with his work, because it looks very similar. Anyway, amazing, really good stuff. Last one on that particular list is March 14th, 1936, and that's when Mary Selway was born. Mary was the casting director for Return of the Jedi. And of course, in a whole gigantic load of other things, 121 other casting director positions apparently for films.
Holy cow.
So
Wow.
yeah, it is insane the number she's done. She did by then. So yeah.
Excellent.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm looking at her on IMDb, and it's like she did Raiders of the Lost Ark too. So not just like
Well, once you start
Return of the
working
Jedi.
with people, you
Yeah.
do it. So, and she also did Superman in 1978, Aliens, Gosford Park, Love Actually,
Yeah.
lots and
Oh.
lots and lots of stuff.
Yeah.
That
Top Secret. What?
cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
She did
Yeah.
some Harry Potter movies,
Yeah.
Master and Commander.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, she had skill, man. A lot of really
Yeah.
big movies under her belt. Right on.
So yeah, there you go. And then the other portion of it, I'm going to go back over here.
History.
That is the regular history. March 11th, 1971 is when THX 1138 was released in theaters, which is George's short that he made into a feature film.
Right. Did you see that at USC?
Yes.
You were there
Yeah.
for that, right?
Yeah,
And
that was pretty awesome
They
to see that.
they
like,
showed
on
the short
screen.
and then they showed the movie, and USC, to their credit, basically because George is like a big deal alumnus, they remastered all of his student films. They're all in amazing shape, and
So cool.
we did a class on Lucas. We went in to participate in costume and help Dr. Casper, who was the teacher. He was the Alfred Hitchcock chair there, and a former Jesuit priest. And he was going to dress as a stormtrooper, but I put him in my Jedi Obi-Wan stuff instead, which seemed more fitting for a Jesuit priest, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
totally.
he had so much fun. He invited us back to audit the class. And so we kept going back to watch other movies that he was showing, which was really cool. And of
That's
course,
cool.
it was all Lucas all the time in that class. It was very cool. And we don't have the money to go to USC, so it was kind of fun to pretend
geez.
to be a little student there, for a while.
No problem. Yeah. March 13th, 1979 is when a fire broke out at Elstree Studios just before they started to film Empire Strikes Back. And you couldn't think that, so I believe that's they switched over to Pinewood or something, or is that what they're all Pinewood? Studios.
Yeah, I think
from
so.
there. Yeah. Last one on this list is March 21st, 2005. And that's when the Clone Wars microseries season 3 aired. A little shorter, not really in the same format as the others were.
Well, and they
But
were
yeah,
all like
still
5
pretty darn
minutes
cool.
long anyway. I mean, it was nothing. It was the weird animation. Jendi Tartakovsky, who did Samurai Jack, and so basically it was Star Wars and Samurai Jack world.
Dexter's Laboratory.
Right, which worked a lot better, I think, than the Clone Wars cartoon series.
Yeah, that's all those.
Thanks, Jeff. We
welcome.
had updates on Jake Lloyd from his mom, and this was
There.
really surprising because rumors abounded that Jake Lloyd, who played the young Anakin Skywalker, had mental health struggles that were brought on by the fan treatment of him from Star Wars. But his mother, in an interview with Scripps News, said that it was a problem that he would have had anyway.
Yeah.
Regardless of what had happened with Star Wars, and that he does love the time that he spent with Star Wars, and that he would not be able to come back and do another Star Wars in all probability.
Well,
No.
but you got to think that, idiotic fanboys picking on a 9-year-old, that's still got to contribute to something like that. And like, regardless of whatever, let's say he was the happiest kid in the world, that would hurt. Everybody slamming you for a thing that you did your best job and you had fun.
It was horrible anyway, but
Yeah.
the problems that he's experiencing as an adult are because he has paranoid schizophrenia,
Yes.
rather than that he was bullied. But it probably didn't help that he was bullied. And apparently, he was... When he went to college, he was hearing voices. He started thinking that people were following him all the time.
Wow.
Which, honestly, as someone who was part of Star Wars, maybe they
would,
were.
You would think people were following you all the time.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's a big leap from, like, say, bipolar disorder to paranoid schizophrenia. It's
Vastly
they're
different.
wildly different. And
Yeah.
for them to finally nail it, though, is a big deal.
Yeah.
So we've seen him at conventions. I literally ran into him. I rounded a corner and we bumped into each other at the convention. And he was nothing but nice. He was really cool. We talked for a little while. He was like kind of in a hurry and a little bit lost. I helped him get where he was going. And
Good.
he was at Celebration. He was there at the Star Wars convention. Which really says a lot for, what he thinks of his time at Star Wars. And, you don't go to a place like that if it was the worst experience of your life.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
But apparently, when he finally got his diagnosis, it led him into worse depression because, who wants to find out that they're paranoid schizophrenic?
Right. Nobody.
Yeah.
And
couldn't,
I think one of the worst problems with that particular diagnosis is one of the, if I'm not mistaken, one of the symptoms of it is that you think that you don't need medication.
Right.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because it all seems real.
Yeah.
Well, but it sounds like his mom is on it, and she's keeping track of him, and she's getting the doctors.
He is getting the help he needs.
That's good.
So that's good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting read. If you guys are listening, and you liked The Phantom Menace or not, I encourage you to read it because it's really kind of eye-opening. It says that he and his mom went to see Wonka for his birthday.
Yeah.
And so,
well, I mean, sadly, he's still having a lot of trouble. He had a full-blown psychotic break in March of 2023.
Yeah.
So, and I can't imagine that the lockdown of the pandemic helped that either.
Yeah.
No. And it sounds like as recently as last year, he went through a pretty bad psychotic break.
Yeah, in March of 2023, which was a year ago.
So staying on top of it, having your family in your corner, that's huge. And I'll just say, if you don't listen to my morning show or the station regularly, we have a group that's colloquially called Badass, and that stands for the Brown Coat Auxiliary Depression and Anxiety Support System. And it's like a mental health group run by fans for fans, and it's legit. It's 501c3, and they exist to help you get whatever help you think you might want. And they are you. They are science fiction fans. They are geeks. They want to help you. And so the website is called browncoatsupport.org. And, you know, if you know someone else that might want help, if you want help, this is a really good place to start. And I play a commercial for them every single day. We know the people who run this group, and they're magnificent people. Yeah. And, you know, it's great to hear about Jake Lloyd getting help in his corner. If you think you might need help, go check these guys out, because they are us, and they only exist to point you in the right direction and get whatever help you might want. So just to throw that in there, you know, a lot of people have to have your back, and I'm glad someone's got Jake Lloyd's back. These guys have your back. So
all right, let's see. Disney Plus has The Acolyte starting on June 4th. I watched this trailer, but it was over a week ago, so I don't remember.
Lots of
oh yeah, you said it was lots of fighting and stabbing and
well people here, I'll run it in the background here. A lot of fans are getting freaked out about it.
I don't know why.
Because they don't know what to make of it. And now this is the High Republic.
Why don't they wait and watch it before they freak out?
Yeah. Well, that's what I think they should do. And I keep saying, this is not an era in which I am well versed. I have no expectations from this. It's so a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. This is even longer ago. It's like 1,000 years ago or something. It's crazy. And you know, you get to see the Jedi being Jedi. It's when Jedi were everywhere, which we never really get to see.
Yeah. I think it takes place at literally 100 years before A Phantom Menace. So the only character that we would recognize that might show up would be Yoda.
Oh, I thought it was even farther back. No. That's interesting. Okay, so I'll have to look at a timeline for the High Republic, because it's nothing that I've been doing lately.
It's like the tail end of it, I think. But,
okay.
You know, yeah.
And, you know, I mean, you know, we're getting a lot of aliens and great vistas. And
yeah, I like it. It's good so
the
far.
biggest... people are whining because they're like, it just looks like a fan film. But to be fair, every fan film is basically just about a lightsaber fight. And that's all they're showing in this trailer, for the most part, is like lots of characters facing off with each other. Mm-hmm. But that's the exciting bit.
Yeah.
What do you think they're going to show you?
Yeah. Exactly. And plus, Carrie-Anne Moss. What the heck, guys?
Right. Yeah. It's good to see her in the Star Wars universe. And I don't know. I think that this is a thing that could be a lot of fun. And I'm excited to see Star Wars that I don't know. It's like completely brand new to me. It's not even like, say, Andor, which is rooted in Rogue One or whatever. This is like not my bag, baby. It looks fun.
Kelly says, isn't Star Wars one big fan film?
Essentially, yeah. I mean, that is the you know, take you can put on it.
Yeah.
You know,
Eric says he's glad to see a different time period for Star Wars.
Well, same here.
Yeah.
I mean, so Star Wars itself came from Kurosawa. The first Star Wars movie was very much rooted in Kurosawa films. And if this is getting back to that could be a lot of fun. So we'll have to see what they do. But, you know, I mean, we can sit and complain about a thing we've not seen forever. I see a lot of people online doing it on their YouTube channels, largely for the clicks, because it's better to just sit there and, you know, bitch and whine and piss and moan about something than it is to actually, like, maybe wait for it to come out and form an opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Come on.
Yep.
Yep, I'm right. 100 years. Yep.
Hey,
top of the hour.
Before we move on, we're at the top of the hour. You could be listening to us on sci-fi.radio, sci-fi for your Wi-Fi. It's a radio station that's up 24/7. Go to that URL, look it up using your favorite radio app, We have an entire page on sci-fi.radio on how you can tune in to us. You can even use your favorite smart speaker to find us. We're everywhere, man. And we do this show on a weekly basis from 7 to 9 Pacific time. I have a morning show from 9 to 11 that we do every morning. It's all nerd all the time. So come join us, won't you? You could also be watching us on Facebook or on YouTube or on Twitch. YouTube is a great place to point people at if you think they should check out the show because it lives there forever.
Yeah.
I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is Jeff Donoho.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And I noticed that Kit sent her link over for the photos that she took at the Reagan Library. And just a real quick thing. This is all of us in their fake Oval Office.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. The Emperor there in the background, which was really fun. And this was our group shot in front of Marine One, which was super cool. So she got some really good kind of group shots of all of us hanging out. Pretty good crowd, and the museum was very happy, and it was a gala event for their donors and things, and really a lot of fun. And that exhibit, I don't know how long it runs to. I meant to say, but I'll have to go look it up.
That says that Jedi teacher looks like Colleen. It says.
Oh,
but I don't know. I don't know who's Jack Photon.
I don't know.
That's what Jack Photon said.
New costume for Colleen, though. Oh.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and watch the trailer again.
Yeah, totally.
You know, I have this exhibit page open. It doesn't say how long it's open for.
Oh.
Come on, Reagan. Let's go. What the heck?
Got to go in the Bonzo wing, right?
Right.
Yes.
March 15th to September 8th, 2024.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you have time to go is basically what that all boils down to.
Yeah.
Right. We have a little bit more about the Acolyte. The Acolyte creator talks about casting Daphne Keene and said,
Yes.
I just wanted to see X-23 with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that means.
Well, if you saw the movie Logan, it's basically someone that has the same powers or whatever as Wolverine, but has like 2 claws instead of 3, much younger, not actually related to him as far as I know, but just had the name X-23.
Oh, okay.
That was her experiment number. Yeah.
So Daphne Keene, in this one, is this from what I can tell is the Sith that they're talking about, the Sith Acolyte.
Interesting.
Of the title.
Well, and so didn't we see X-23 in a previous X-Men movie as more of an adult? Wasn't there a big fight with her, or am I thinking of a different character?
I don't know.
I thought there was Wolverine went back to where he was created. He ran into her. There was a big knockdown, drag out.
Oh, that was something else. But yeah, that was definitely not X-23. I don't know who that actually was.
I don't remember who that was. But same thing, woman with 2 claws. And
yeah, so with Logan, it was because it was Old Man Logan, so it's a totally different character.
Interesting.
Alrighty. And then Patty Jenkins is returning to write the Rogue Squadron movie, which is great news.
This is excellent news. I am very excited. She was so excited to do this movie. And I don't know if you remember the little teaser trailer that she released where she's like, my dad was a pilot and all this, and I'm really excited to do this. This is going to be so amazing. And then...
And then they scrapped it.
Yeah, they axed her project.
Yeah, so... super exciting that the project is coming back and that Patty Jenkins is writing it.
And apparently they've struck a completely new deal.
Awesome.
And
well, I hope it's awesome.
It's moving ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and she also got Wonder Woman 3 canceled out from under her.
Yeah.
So which is what she left Rogue Squadron to go do.
Yeah.
Oh, Hollywood.
And coming to supermarkets near you in April, I believe, is blue milk.
Actual blue milk. As if we can't make that ourselves.
Well, it's vanilla
Yeah.
flavored, so I'm
Right.
going to say that it's
Oh, that's
blue
what that
milk
is.
with sugar, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have.
Unless by vanilla they mean not flavored.
There's.
No, it definitely says this delicious vanilla flavored milk.
Tasty Smurf juice.
True Moo.
Uh,
True Moo.
Very exciting.
Blue colored vanilla low fat milk with other natural flavors.
It says
Half gallon.
scan for details. I wonder if I can actually scan that QR code.
Oh,
I don't know.
maybe.
Nope.
oh.
No, I can't do it. It's not a high resolution enough image. Let me try something else here for a
Okay.
second.
Oh, and the other one, Talon's right. The other character that you were thinking of from the old X-Men movie was Lady Deathstrike.
Thank you.
But-
that was
yes.
it. And
Yeah, but she had the long claws that came out of her fingers, so she had 5 of them.
Oh, see, I thought
Yeah.
she had the 2 instead of 3, and there was just
Yeah.
so many similarities between the two
Oh, yeah.
characters to me that I'm just like, whatever.
So
Yeah.
True Moo is a brand that sells chocolate, strawberry, and mint vanilla milk.
Yeah.
So it's basically like what's that stuff with the rabbit that you mix into milk?
Quick.
It's basically like
Like
pre-mixed quick.
Nestle Quick.
So yeah, on their website they have chocolate milk, strawberry milk, mint vanilla milk, and orange scream milk.
Orange Scream. Okay, I can only assume that that's like a 50-50 bar.
Yeah, remember that stuff we used to
Could
get
be.
from the LA County Fair that was 50-50 bar flavored?
Yes.
I think it was that.
Oh, okay.
The same
Yeah.
stuff.
I was
So-
trying to get a big look at that, and I've totally screwed up my my zoom level.
Oh dear.
Wah, wah. Moving on to theme parks.
There we go. Okay. Back to
There
normal.
are new turn gates at DCA. Sean, did you check these out this week?
I did. They're really kind of weird. It's falling into the category of self-checkout at the supermarket where and I didn't go in. I just went over to look at them. But basically you go in and it scans the thing. You can use your magic band, and they have somebody watching to make sure you don't jump the turnstile. But normally when you go in, you interact directly with a cast member, and they have to scan you, and they double check the picture, and they do whatever. And this is like sort of taking the person out of the loop. I am only cool with this if that person then gets reassigned elsewhere in the park. I don't want anyone to lose a job, but I also know a lot of people don't like sitting on their butt just scanning people in all day. I've talked to some of the people who work the front gate, and it's a thankless job. You got to deal with a lot of grumpy people, and there's always problems with people's tickets and whatever. So, yeah, we'll have to see how this goes. And it's one of the other things too is it looks like they've made the entrance wider. So if you're on a scooter or you're in a wheelchair or something, you can roll yourself in.
Don't have to go through the middle.
Yeah, it's all that now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, and also someone in the comments was of the article that we were looking at for this was mentioning that they hate the turnstiles because they're a little bit bigger and they get jabbed in the stomach. And Sean has the problem that sometimes when he goes to Disneyland, he brings a cane and he has a backpack.
Yeah.
And he tends to kind of get trapped in the turnstile
And if
when
yeah.
they don't allow him to go through the middle.
And I've, like Life Day, I've broken stuff that we brought with us for Life Day. I've had all sorts of issues with it going through the turnstile. And sometimes they're cool and they gesture at me and go, "Hey, you can just go through the middle. That's fine." And other times I got to fight with the turnstile and get stuck in it.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts, and I feel for anybody who has more limited mobility than I do. That's got to be just awful. Unless you're in an actual motorized scooter and they just let you drive right through. But it's kind of interesting. I'm showing it here, and you scan it, and your picture comes up, and there's another monitor at the other end where they can see the picture that comes up, and I guess it's just the future of Disney. I have to say that in my experiences with Colleen at Walt Disney World, their technology level has been so far ahead of what Disneyland does, to the point where they used to take your fingerprint and stuff, and you could scan in with your fingerprint. There are like all sorts of ways to get in the park. So if you're worried about privacy and this kind of thing, that ship has sailed decades ago.
My problem will be that my Magic Band will continue to not work.
Poor Colleen.
Because I have problems with it every time I go to the park.
Yeah, I think
boo.
we made the mistake of switching Colleen's Magic Band out at one point for a different one, and I think it just confused the whole system.
Yeah, well, the problem is that I wear a different Magic Band depending on whether I'm bounding or not. So every time I go, I can't remember which band is active.
Yeah.
And so half the time I get it wrong, and the other half the time, like, I only get partway through the process, because it's kind of a complicated process to reassign your Magic Band. It's like an 8-step process or something. So Lori in the comments was questioning mint vanilla milk, and I mentioned, can you imagine mint vanilla milk on your peanut butter Captain Crunch?
No.
Ew.
But if you had like Cocoa Pebbles and you put mint milk on the Cocoa Pebbles, that might be good. Colleen was talking
I don't really
about
like cereal, so
I know you don't. Although Colleen has one cereal she likes, which is Captain
Peanut
Crunch
butter
peanut
Captain
butter,
Crunch.
which she would not put mint milk on.
I would not.
But you were telling me about a recipe for shamrock shake pie.
Yes.
Which sounded revolting.
I mean, I don't think it's revolting necessarily. If you like, basically, it's vanilla pudding mixed with Cool Whip and mint.
And mint flavoring. It's just, I don't know. Mint pie is weird to me.
And also, if I were going to do that, they put it in a regular pie shell. I would have put it in a chocolate pie shell to kind of balance out the mint. I don't know. It's gross.
I guess if they were like small little ones, like cupcake size, I could kind of deal with that. But I don't know. Mint pie is sort of like not in my wheelhouse.
Right. Excuse me. Oh, tired. Not sure why.
Some people were saying over here, by the way, in the things that people who are of larger stature are very excited by this.
Yeah, because the area is it's easier to get through.
Yeah.
They made it bigger. So.
And apparently they're doing this in Disneyland Paris.
Oh.
Some people were saying that they encountered a similar thing at Disneyland Paris, and it was the fastest entry they ever had.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, I'm all for faster entry.
Okay, Shamrock Shake Pie is 12 graham crackers, 2 tablespoons brown sugar, 1/2 cup butter melted, 2.5 cups milk, 1/4 teaspoon green food coloring, 2 teaspoons mint extract, 5-ounce box of instant vanilla pudding mix, and 8 ounces of Cool Whip.
And a partridge in a pantry.
Yeah, not. I could see people really having problems with adding too much mint to this, or using the wrong type of mint, because mint and peppermint are not interchangeable. Do not do that. You will be sad. Okay, Disneyland Forward is moving forward. I don't remember if we talked about this last time, but the City Council of Anaheim recommended, approved the ordinance I believe. And there have been a couple of articles about what they're going to be doing with Disney Forward. And that's, as a reminder, because we've talked about it a bunch of times, that is putting some rides in between the hotels that are to the west of downtown Disney, and putting possibly another park where the parking lot is at the
Toy Story lot that's across
east,
from the convention center.
southeast, southeast Toy Story lot.
Yeah.
So, I don't. Do either of you have more to say about this?
Well, it comes at kind of an interesting time because the Disney board is up for re-election and whatnot, and there's a lot of political stuff going on, and I know that we're going to talk about that in a little bit. These are the proposed maps that they're doing.
I will say that this is where I found out the last time that Sean and I went to Disney. Oh, actually, that's what Sean and I did. We went to Disneyland last weekend.
Yes, we did.
The last time that we went, over last weekend, I mentioned to Sean that the Hungry Bear restaurant is considered a historic resource by the state of California. Yeah. So they're not allowed to change the Disneyland Railroad Main Street Station, Pirates of the Caribbean, or the Hungry Bear restaurant without going through the state for approval, because those have historic significance. And I found it easy to believe about the Pirates of the Caribbean and the Disneyland Railroad Main Street Station, but I was a little surprised by the Hungry Bear restaurant.
Yeah, that seemed kind of crazy.
Weird, huh?
Yeah.
So, a lot of people are throwing speculation around for all of this because Disney keeps announcing that they're going to do new attractions and things, and a lot of people are like, oh, they could take this out of Tomorrowland, they could take that out of Tomorrowland, they're going to shut this down, they're going to get rid of this, they're going to do whatever, and I have to keep reminding them, I'm like, no, they have this whole other area of land that they've been discussing that they want to do, and the new parking and more attraction space and all that kind of thing, and it's some of the stuff that they want to do, they've got space to do it, so we'll see.
This is a good map, this one here that has the Disneyland Resort specific plan and the Anaheim Resort specific plan.
It explains what could go where.
Yeah.
And I
that
do
is
like it.
Very interesting.
And it shows you like where new parking lots are going to be and that kind of thing. So, and it shows you how much land Disney's got to mess with.
What is below Area 5?
Area 5?
Which is at the Toy Story lot.
That is Area 7, which is another
7. Okay.
Park East overlay. It's the bottom part of the Toy Story lot.
It's now. Behind me in the image.
Oh,
so,
is it? Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry.
So I couldn't see it.
Oops. Wait. Yeah. That's hold on. Let me get rid of
I should have extrapolated because Area 7's the only one I can't see.
Yeah, there's us. And so it's basically the main Toy Story lot.
Yeah.
The part that's across from the convention center to the east, that's that. And then, but they're talking about making it theme park and not parking. Yes. And then there's a smaller lot just above that. That's what number 5 is. And they're talking making that more park too. So.
Alrighty. Patrick Warburton made a surprise appearance, well, a surprise to the guests, at Soarin' Over California. When they reopened it, they brought back the Soarin' Over California instead of Soarin' Over the World or whatever the other one is. And Patrick Warburton dressed in the flight attendant uniform and welcomed all the guests as they got on the ride.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that would have been really neat to have been there.
Yeah.
And
see that.
he obviously had so much fun. And what was funny though is that of course when you go on Soren, you watch the video, and you know he tells little jokes, and he's so very serious about the whole thing, you know, which is really funny. And then he's aged a bit since that video was shot, and so he came out and he's got a mustache and he's got salt and pepper hair. And it was really funny. But he stood there as everybody walked past him. Welcome aboard. Good to see you. Like, it was really great. I just love that he did it.
Right.
Disneyland will be closing Critter Country for a while, so basically that means the shops and the Winnie the Pooh ride will be closing down while they finish up with Tiana's Splash Mountain. What are they calling it? Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the shops down by the Winnie the Pooh ride are going to be changing. The ones that are, there are like 3 shops, and they're all stuck together. The 2 shops that are farthest away from the Winnie the Pooh ride will be reopening as Ray's Berets and Louie's Critter Club. And then the portion that is closest to the Winnie the Pooh ride, where the candy shop is basically, will be remaining, whatever it is, Winnie the Pooh's Adventure or whatever.
Okay. That's going to be really interesting because is that going to happen amidst all the other construction that's happening right now? Because Haunted Mansion is closed and blocked off, as is, you know, all of Splash Mountain. And basically that whole section of the park is going to be, you know, non-accessible.
Critter Country will temporarily close beginning May 1st.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Pooh Corner will still stay as Pooh Corner. That's what that's called.
Right.
And
then the other 2 will change over.
Yeah. So so I was just there yesterday, I guess. And the Haunted Mansion from Tiana's Palace all the way to the end of the Haunted Mansion is closed. It butts up right against the Tiana Bayou Adventure redo. And then that already goes quite a distance down towards Critter Country. Man, that's going to be a lot of blocked off space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Okay.
This is sad.
Oh, this was so gross.
Don't do this, people. Just
Yeah.
do not. I don't care how much you love Disneyland.
Are you going to show the picture, Sean?
I am going to show the picture.
It's gross.
I'm working on it right now. Everybody jokes about how they want to get, buried, quote unquote, at Disneyland, and Haunted Mansion is usually the thing. But somebody went to Rise of the Resistance and dumped their dad's ashes in the ride, like not outside the ride, not in Batu somewhere in a planter, in the freaking ride.
So those are the tire tracks you see
Right.
going through someone's relative there.
Yes. And so what you have to think about is that when you do something like this, first off, it shuts the ride down. Secondly, it becomes a hazmat situation where they have protocols that they have to deal with due to the state of California and the handling of hazardous materials, because this is ash from a human being. And thirdly, ash does not behave the way you think it behaves. It doesn't fly away. It's not light and fluffy. It's not the stuff that comes out of your cigarettes. And at the risk of getting really grim here, when someone passes away and you cremate them, the cremains have to go through what they call a cremulator. And the cremulator
Cremulator.
is what it sounds like. It is a giant machine that crunches everything up. And so because bone doesn't burn. And centuries of cooking meat should have told us this.
Doesn't sound creamy at all.
No, it's not. It's really terrible. It has nothing to do with Oreos. Sorry. I know you're so disappointed. So, this stuff is heavy. It weighs a lot. It doesn't fly. It doesn't float. So now they did this to their loved one, and Disney's got to come in. They got to clean it up, shut the ride down, probably for the rest of the day. And their loved one is just going to go into hazmat bags and be disposed of elsewhere. So anyway, it's terrible. And people always joke about doing this. But it's one thing to say, bury me on the grounds of the Haunted Mansion or something, which of course Disney doesn't want you to do either. No. But to be in the ride like this is just, it's not thinking. These people were not thinking. Anyway, it's, what do they call it? A code A, I think, for Ash. There's a code V for vomit, by the way.
Right. At least, vomit is honest.
Well, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. But this was just a terrible thing. These pictures went up and were down like that. But of course, the internet being what they are, people managed to save them.
Right.
And one of the cast members. But we love these rides. We love Disney. Don't get buried there.
Don't
please.
Be selfish.
Yeah. I mean, it's just not cool.
Yeah. Take like a pinch. A pinch.
Right.
That's enough.
Look, when they shoot you into space in a capsule, they don't put all of you there. They put a little bit in a thing and they launch you into space. Yeah, do the same thing.
We have more information all the time coming out of Disney Perks blogs about the Season of the Force, which is the upcoming Star Wars 2-month celebration. In addition to having Star Wars Nights. And it's April 5th through June 2nd is the Season of the Force.
Weird.
They announced a little bit more about the fireworks. And I might be conflating a couple of different... there's another article that told us more about the different songs that we'd be playing. In this particular one, they just tell us that it will be... John Williams, Fire of the Rising Moons, is
which
what
you would
calling
expect. And of course, he's written music expressly for the land, and he's got 9 movies to pull from. So,
Star Tours is going to have characters from Ahsoka, Andor, and The Mandalorian. The planet that Star Tours will visit in the new movie will be called Peridia. I don't know if you've got Peridia. Is that what it is? Okay.
I'm going with Peridia.
During your flight, you may also receive urgent transmissions from Ahsoka, Cassian, and Din and Grogu.
I just want B2 to show up, man. That's my only thing.
Hyperspace Mountain is coming back, so it will be the Star Wars overlay on Space Mountain.
Right.
I was trying to come up with the word Space Mountain.
Cool.
And then they've got some merchandise that's coming out, and one of them is a kind of nice looking jacket that is a not Space Mountain. Star Tours jacket.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, it looks nice.
It's oops, it just went away. It's Star Tours colors, it's Tomorrowland colors. It's kind of cool.
They will also have Star Wars cookies that have a tiny little X-Wing and Star Wars on them.
That is a tiny little X-Wing.
Yeah. As well as, apparently they've had these cookies in the past couple of years.
Oh, okay.
And then they'll have new experiences for PhotoPass people.
Yeah, they're doing a bounty puck thing where they'll have a character in your hand that you can go hunt down as part of your PhotoPass thing.
They're advertising that you can find bounty hunters, but that is not new.
That is not new. As long as they fix the thing. Although I'll tell you, the last time I went in and I did, and I've been complaining about this every time they give me a survey. I taught to Dow how to do the bounty hunter game, and when I did it, instead of saying, "Oh, you were in bounty number 17," which I'm not. I'm on like 37. It said, "Well, you've obviously done this before," kind of a deal, and that was a vast improvement than giving me a number I've already had, because there's only 20 bounties to get, and once you've done that, it turns over. And I think they finally went in and fixed it. Next time I go, I wasn't in the mood to do it yesterday, but next time I go, I'll check it out and see if that's really the case. If I do a couple of them and they stop giving me numbers, then they fixed it, and that would make me really happy, because it was just a dumb oversight.
Cool.
And then I thought they were having these in Disneyland too, but I will look at that while we talk about it. They've got a salvage stormtrooper helmet bucket, popcorn bucket, coming on May 4th.
It is Disneyland, and then
It is Disneyland.
and then they
Okay.
specifically said, "Oh, by the way, it's also going to be in Florida."
Okay. We had it marked as Florida, and so I thought that I was misremembering.
No,
Do you want to show that picture, Sean?
I'm working on it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to...
It's basically like a banged up, been laying out in the desert stormtrooper helmet with popcorn in it.
Yeah.
It is very specifically
Yeah.
a first order
Oh, man.
bucket,
Maybe it's
and
feds.
there's a variety of snacks you can put in it. The question I have is it full size? Is it half size? How big is it going to be?
It can't be full size. There's
I
no
know,
way.
because that would be gigantic, right?
It's going to have either popcorn, French fries, or Galma garlic puffs, depending on which location you pick it up at.
Right. And
Yeah.
the garlic puffs are the things that you get at the Coke carts. They're like sort of puffy chips.
I'm trying to imagine where. I guess maybe in Tomorrowland it'll come with French fries. Because there are no French
Yeah.
fries in
Yeah,
Tattoo.
it's probably that. So it's an interesting looking thing, and I like that they weathered the whole thing. It remains to be seen in person. I'll tell you, I did see a really cute popcorn container that isn't Star Wars related, but it's off of Runaway Railway. That's the little bird at the end of the ride. They were huge yesterday when I was there, and it was. I'm trying to find a picture of it as I talk. Oh, here it is, and it's kind of adorable.
Oh my gosh, that's cute.
And it's really big. It's just one of those things that I'm like, I don't.
Someone's selling it for $44.
Right. I'm
on
like,
eBay.
I don't have a use for this, but it's adorable.
It is very cute.
It's this thing. And this is the little bird at the end.
Nice.
At the end of the ride. And it's big. It's bigger than you think it is. So based on this thing, which is like, 12, 13 inches tall, easy, they could do the big Star Wars helmet if they really want to.
Where is it for sale?
Toontown.
I mean, is there like a popcorn cart or?
Yeah, it's by Chip and Dale's Gadget Coaster.
Oh, okay.
Okay, things to do, dining, all dining. There we go.
Chubby, I don't know how to say this. Chuuby is the name of the bird. I don't know if it's
okay.
Chubby or Chubby.
Huh.
Yeah.
But there you go. There's your popcorn cart. That's where they sell
Oh,
it.
nice.
I was just trying to see how much it costs. And apparently, they're not going to tell me on the website.
Let's
Wow,
see.
wow.
I'm looking for a price. Looking for
Oh,
a price.
I'm gonna guess $20, but I don't know.
Oh, no. Really? I think it's
I
more
think it'll
than
be
that.
more.
I'm underestimating.
El Capitan Theater. Let's see if it says at the very beginning. Do not confuse him with Orange Bird. Gosh, it just doesn't say. $23.99.
Oh,
That was
so Jeff was
close.
pretty close.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, it's super cute. And now we have one piece of news that is non-Disney under theme parks.
What?
And that is that it's butterbeer season.
Butterbeer season.
I gotta say, I really love butterbeer.
It's good.
For butterbeer season, and this is in Universal Studios Hollywood, so it's not in Florida, or they're not talking about Florida. It might be there too. They are introducing Florian Fortescue's ice cream, located at Honeydukes within the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. The ice cream shop will feature 10 flavors, including a new butterbeer ice cream. Other flavors like banana, chocolate, mint, orange, vanilla, toffee nut, Granny Smith apple, pistachio, and toffee apple will also be available and served in a cup or waffle cone.
Boy, they're not much on pictures here.
No. You can also try out a butterbeer flavored popsicle. And you can purchase cold or frozen butterbeer in a special collectible silver stein.
So this starts tomorrow, Universal Studios Hollywood, and then the ice cream shop opens March 29th.
It's almost worth getting entrance into Universal Studios just to get the butterbeer because it's so good.
We've got to know somebody. I wonder if somebody could sign us in. It is really good, and it's not the same when you get butterbeer from like.
Vastly different.
It's the foam
Bevmo
that
or
really
something.
makes it.
Yeah,
I figured out how to make it on my own, but and it actually makes the foam too. But it's
a separate thing you have to make and then apply and then do whatever. Yeah.
Sorta.
We had butterbeer when we went to one of the celebrations, and they didn't have Harry Potter Land here yet.
No.
And it was good. I think you and I liked it. I think Kit thought it was okay, and Trevor was like, meh.
I figured. Yeah, I was figuring it out at home. So there's like 1, 2, 3, about 4 ingredients really.
Right.
To make it.
There are a lot of
recipes online.
Yeah. But these are pretty easy. You just buy them in the store. Put these ingredients together and bloop. But
Sean, you want to handle the next season?
I will indeed. We lost a few people the past couple weeks. Akira Toriyama, who is a manga artist and creator of Dragon Ball, passed away at the age of 68, which is interesting because he just didn't look 68. Recent pictures of him, it's just like crazy. Carl Bongiorno passed away at the age of 86, and he was a finance guy for Disney theme parks, and every Disney theme park, Tokyo Disneyland, Epcot. He was in 1987. They quoted him. He says, "We have more than 40 projects in various stages of design and construction, $2 billion worth of work." And he was the guy who oversaw all of that money coming in and coming out. And he was part of the original Project X, which was Walt Disney World Resort in Florida, 30,000 acres, that they secretly bought without anybody knowing. He was handling all of that kind of stuff. At the age of 74, singer and songwriter Eric Carmen passed away. He was part of the Raspberries band, and he wrote Hungry Eyes from the soundtrack to Dirty Dancing and All by Myself, which, is Lonely Luke's theme song. Michael Culver passed away at the age of 85. Headlines have been very awkward about this. Entertainment Weekly seems to have corrected their headline that made it sound like he was recently killed by Darth Vader. He was Captain Nita in The Empire Strikes Back. A very short-lived Imperial career, and served as a instant field promotion for other officers, but certainly made an impact on that. But he was in Sherlock Holmes and A Passage to India and all sorts of stuff like that. But apology accepted, Captain Nita. In local news, we lost a guy who was the guy who started celebrity accident lawyer stuff. There are still billboards with his face on them, although it's more recently it's been a cartoon face and not a photograph. But Larry H. Parker has been a lawyer in Southern California forever, and he was the guy who would buy commercials on local television and bring his high winning clients on to talk about how much they won. And his catchphrase was, "We'll fight for you." And he was one of those crazy ambulance chasing accident attorneys. We're so centered around cars here that he was a big deal. Let's see. Bill Hargreaves passed away. If I can get this to go. La-da-dee, la-da-da. We talked about Mark Dodson, who passed away, and he was a puppeteer for Star Wars. And then Bill Hargreaves was a prop maker, and he worked on IG-88 and the Probe Droid and the Minoc and all sorts of things like that. He used to go to conventions. He was easy to find at various celebrations and things, and was pretty sad to see him pass away. He made great contributions to Star Wars that have carried on into things like The Mandalorian and stuff with that IG-88 design. And actor Emmett Walsh has passed away, a true character actor who was just, cranky, grumpy, old before his time. Roger Ebert said, no movie featuring either Harry Dean Stanton or Emmett Walsh in a supporting role can be altogether bad. He was in The Jerk, he was in Fletch, and he was in Blade Runner as Harrison Ford's police captain.
Yeah.
In that, when they shot in Union Station as the police station in downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Anyway, super long career. Look him up. You'll look at his face and go, "Oh crap, that guy."
Yeah, and I think he played Christine's dad on Night Court.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure, I think it's the same guy.
Oh, cool.
I could be wrong, but I think it is.
Well, and
him.
he passed away at the
Yeah.
he passed away at the age of 88. Sad to hear of his passing. So. Anyway, that's who we lost the past couple weeks. It's been busy.
Okay.
Jeff, what kind of speed round do you want to talk about?
What I want to talk about, strangely enough, I don't know why I did not put this on the document because Sean already knows about it. But because while we were at...
it's not my fault.
Say? Well, no, it wasn't. You weren't supposed to put it up there. When we were at the El Centro and talking to our friends from Arizona, we were talking about a Mattel theme park coming to Arizona, and we did talk about this on the show a while back that it was a plan.
Right.
It wasn't, but now it's they're saying that at one point they said they're aiming for because of some sort of delay that it may not open until like early 2025, and then there's an update on Saturday that no, it'll have a soft opening around at the end of this year, and it's in Glendale, Arizona. So that's the Mattel theme park, which we went over a while back.
Right.
But that's sort of a time update. But the other news was that not only is that one going, they're putting in a second theme park, a Mattel theme park, and that's going to be over in Kansas. Let's see it. Just outside. I'm sorry, not Kansas. Sorry, just outside Kansas City, Kansas. Blech.
Right.
And it's basically, it looks to be like just the same thing. but different state.
So it's
So-
officially called Mattel Adventure Park. And, of course, they're completely building it around their cash cows, which are A, Barbie, and B, Hot Wheels. So, yeah, I mean, it could be pretty cool. You can go to MattelAdventurePark.com and get information about it. And, hey, they're hiring.
Yes.
If you live near Glendale, Arizona. Isn't it
Yeah.
Glendale's where we saw Paul Williams, right?
Scottsdale, I thought.
Was it Scottsdale? Maybe it was Scottsdale.
Yeah, because it was the Scottsdale Center of the Arts or something like
Oh,
that.
okay. I know my friend Tiffany used to live out there in Scottsdale. So, or not Scottsdale, in Glendale. Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
A trailer, sort of halfway between a teaser and a trailer at a minute and a half, dropped either last night or this morning. And
pretty recent.
check it out. It's good. I plan to see this probably in theaters.
Well, and I think that so this was one of the things that got shut down due to COVID, and they had to come back and do it, and people ransacked their set. They stole a bunch of stuff.
Oh, that sucks.
It was really kind of brutal, and it looks pretty good, and it looks like they've got some of the original folks to come back, like Winona Ryder is back and Catherine O'Hara is back, but it has the notable addition of Jenna Ortega from Wednesday.
Yep.
So it looks pretty cool, and the trailer.
And Michael Keaton is back.
Yeah. And it looks pretty fun. And although, with Ghostbusters coming back and Dune being out and all this, I'm having serious flashbacks to the 80s.
Yes.
It's like, what the heck?
I think that's the point.
Right. And but it really does look like a lot of fun. And we've been waiting for this for a while.
Yeah.
So.
And it looks in the trailer it has Bern Gorman as a priest at a funeral.
Really?
He
I didn't
looks like he's the
recognize
priest.
him.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
Wow. Sean, what would you like to talk about?
Things have been really kind of crunchy. I mentioned this a little bit, and if you have Facebook, you might have been seeing ads for this, where the Disney Board of Directors is up for voting, and it's been there's a couple of people who really want to get on the board. They think that they can shake things up, which is probably true, but not necessarily make things better. And some of the people on the board have admitted, or that are running for the board, have admitted that they have no media experience at all. They're just Disney shareholders, and they're not happy with the way things are going for Disney shareholders. Now, interestingly, as you would imagine from a guy who sold his biggest property to Disney for $4.3 billion or whatever it was, George Lucas is the single largest shareholder in Disney.
Interesting.
Right? That was kind of interesting news.
Yeah.
So he obviously took a bunch of that in stock, and which I think was something like 375,000 shares or something. Whatever it was absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry. No. 37.1 million Disney shares.
Wow.
Man.
Holy crap. Anyway, Lucas is worth about $7.9 billion. A lot of that is Disney stock. He is backing Iger because these guys who are jumping in, which is Nelson Peltz, which is him, and former financial officer Jay Rasulo. They're saying that, like, we've got to fix stuff. We got to make things better, whatever. And George is going, you know what? It's fine. And he made this interesting comment that was, creating magic is not for amateurs. which is basically pointing out that Peltz has said on the record he has no experience with media at all. So, that's it. So, also the kids of the Walt Disney family, the grandchildren, who are all adults now, and of his brother's family, have sent open letters going, we don't want these guys on the board. Stop trying to mess stuff up. And everybody's really kind of jumping into Iger's camp for the most part. So it's messy. I don't know when the vote is, but
Josh Gad put his support behind Iger as well.
Yeah, and so it's really so one of the guys who's wants to do it, which is Ike Perlmutter. He's got a personal feud with Iger. I mean, a lot of this is getting really weird. But my Facebook feed has been full of these ads going, vote Iger, vote this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm not even a shareholder. Why am I getting these things?
Ike is the same guy who was responsible for the what do you call it? It was the Inhumans.
Oh, really?
For Marvel. Yeah. The god awful TV show and the everything else. He was completely the one behind all that. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and I mean, George Lucas's sort of snide comment aside, he's not entirely wrong. You have to know what you're doing to do a job well. I'm not a fan of politicians, but if you know how to operate in that environment, the chances of your being more successful are good. I feel the same way about business. And anybody can say that they're good at business, but if they don't have a proven track record at it in the business that they want to run, they shouldn't have that opportunity. And like I said, we have no horse in this race. We have no stock in Disney. But I just, whatever. Ike Perlmutter was behind Coleco Entertainment and Toy Biz. If you remember Toy Biz. And he got laid off from the company in March of last year. So this just sort of sounds like a vendetta kind of a deal.
It totally is.
Yeah. So, well, we'll see how that goes.
Jeff, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah. Let's see here. What did I find that I just had it a moment ago? It was sorry. This is kind of weird. It was that Joe Dante and Roger Corbin, Brad Cravoy, who the hell the heck is, are getting ready to get together to make a Little Shop of Halloween Horrors. So it's like a Little Shop of Horrors reboot or remake or whatever.
Just why?
Like film. And I'm like, why are you doing this? What is the point of this? Yeah. That's nuts. Yeah. I don't understand it. It's just like, just leave well enough alone, really. It's already been made good. No need to try to do it and then bring in Corbin on it, so it's going to be cheap and
they made it
too.
They made it good twice. We have the original movie, black and white movie. We have a really good musical on stage, or three times, because we've got the movie musical, which is nearly perfect. Yeah. So lame.
Seems silly.
I watched a trailer for a movie coming to theaters on April 26th called Humane. And I think Sean's going to want to see this because it has Enrico Colantoni in it.
Oh, great.
And Peter Gallagher, interestingly. I was looking at Peter Gallagher trying to figure out who it was. I'm like,
while you were sleeping.
So familiar,
right.
But a bit older.
Yeah.
And it's basically that the world has gotten so, we destroyed the world so badly, our environment, that they need a certain percentage of the population to go away in order to save the rest. And some people signed up for this plan of basically being euthanized. And then they invited their whole family over to tell them that they had decided to take this option. And then in the middle of telling their family, the mom got up and like excused herself for a moment and basically ran away. Yeah. And then the people showed up to do the euthanizing, and they said, "Oh, sorry, mom went away." And the agency, the government agency that was there said, "We have 2 people on our list. We are not leaving without 2 bodies. You all get to decide who that's going to be." It looks scary and good.
It reminds me of
scary and funny.
Cabin.
It looks like, so that's a plus.
Yeah, it reminds you what?
Of what was it? Knock at the Cabin or whatever.
Oh, Cabin in the Woods?
No, not Cabin in the Woods.
I guess a little bit.
The really, really terrible one where a bunch of people show up and say, there's a prophecy and one of you has to die. Yeah. You choose.
Knock at the Cabin,
Oh, yeah, that's probably what it is. I think I find it most interesting because the government official is played by Enrico Colantoni, and I really like him.
I like him. He's great. Yeah. Veronica Mars and Just Shoot Me.
Yeah. Sean?
2024 Disney Legends have been announced. Some really good people on this list. Costume designer Colleen Atwood is there. Angela Bassett, James L. Brooks, James Cameron, Jamie Lee Curtis, Miley Cyrus. Seems a little weird. Steve Ditko, comic book artist. Harrison Ford, Frank Oz, Kelly Ripa, Joe Rohde, who's the Imagineer with the terrible earring. And John Williams, which is pretty great. And there's a couple people on the list that you may not recognize. Martha Blanding, who was a Disneyland cast member who started there in 1971. And she was basically the standard bearer for African Americans at the Disney theme parks. And she worked her way up through the ranks. She's a senior manager there now. She was the first black woman to be a full-time VIP tour guide. She started low, and she's ending strong, and they're giving her a Disney Legend Award, which is well-deserved.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. And then animator Mark Henn from Disney Animators. He's been described as the Julia Roberts of Disney animation because he has the knack for animating princesses. Mulan, Ariel, Belle, Jasmine, Tiana, a whole bunch of other stuff. And he worked for the studio for 43 years before he retired. So, really good people. Of course, this Legends slate will culminate in their induction at the D23 convention, which you can buy a ticket to and watch this whole thing. Ryan Seacrest is hosting the event. And, could be pretty good. Some great names on here. And go Frank Oz. So I'm just saying.
Sean,
Talking about
that was cool.
You want to wrap us up?
Surely. So you could be listening to us on sci-fi.radio. It is sci-fi for your Wi-Fi. Nerd music and stuff 24/7. My show is in the morning from 9 to 11. I will be wrapping out the week tomorrow. That's Pacific time. It'll be 12 o'clock Eastern time, or wherever you happen to be in the world. Just go to sci-fi.radio, look at the program schedule. It will magically convert to wherever you are on the planet. So do join me for the end of the week. Also, YouTube and Facebook and Twitch, all of that kind of stuff. I will remind you, in case my clothing hasn't, that Ghostbusters opened today. Frozen Empire. Go see it this weekend if you want. Help them out because it looks pretty great. I'm awaiting. Our next door neighbor went, and I'm waiting for his review because he's got an ectomobile next door. So he'll tell me honestly if it was good or if it sucked.
I don't want him to tell. I don't want to know.
I just want to know if he liked it.
I just want to go see it.
Yes,
and then he can tell me whether he liked it or not.
Which we are going to do tomorrow, and so we'll do that. But so if you need something to do, give that some thought.
Cool.
Big, huge thanks to Kit for putting together our show document. 2 whole weeks of stuff.
It was a lot of work.
That we like barely scratched the surface of.
Yeah,
We're grateful,
geez.
and
So
she
much
was at the
more.
same event I was at last week. She was doing that with me on Thursday, which is why we didn't have the show, because I was off goofing off.
Yeah.
And beyond that, gosh, we've been doing this. We're in our 12th year, and for all of you guys who've been sticking around for any portion of that, we're really grateful that you have been. So thanks.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
This is Jeff Sewell, not a hole.
I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby. As always,
May the
May the
force
force
be with you. Let's give you video guys some credits over here. Not that one. Come on. Just to look at something else. There we go. I knew I'd find it eventually. Bye, video people.
Good night, everybody.
See you later.